Okay, there is a new way to build and launch VSLs that makes it super easy. Even if you're a complete beginner, you can use AI at pretty much every single step. And I know this because over the last 6 months, we've used the exact same process to build out over 400 different VSLs for our clients, 475 to be precise. And we've been getting incredible results with them, right? So although these VSLs now take hours to launch rather than weeks, we've got people like Daniel seeing massive results really early on. He was actually hesitant to write this review because he wasn't too sure, but he worked with us, got crazy results, and he's super happy. Nick, closing 17k deals from his VSL now, where previously he was only signing 6.5k deals. Owen said we're the best in the game at VSLs. We got Yaman, who made 40k launching his VSL with us. So this shit works. So listen up. So my goal here today isn't to overcomplicate this. My goal is to give you the step-by-step frameworks to say, okay, this is what I have to do to go and launch a good VSL. This is what needs to be inside of it. And this is, how we structure the script to actually get results, all right? If you look at the old way, it would take hours writing a good VSL. It would take ages filming it. It would take ages putting together a presentation. It would take ages editing it. It would then mean that you've wasted all of this time just to run a test, because that's all this game is. It's testing, getting data, iterating on that data, and then launching something again. So this old way doesn't work. We need to go and find the new way so that we can actually launch fast, do everything in 1 to 2 hours instead of days or weeks, and we can just keep getting data in the door. So this new way means that we don't spend hours writing the VSL, we don't take ages filming it, we don't take ages putting together the presentation, and we don't take ages editing it. And every step of the way, we're using AI, okay? So everyone can do this. Now, to give you an idea of how many VSLs we test, most people don't have this many YouTube videos on their channel. We've launched 37 VSLs for our own business this year alone. And these different VSLs are for different offers, different steps in the funnel, but we always follow the same format. We have a split screen where we have a presentation, and then we have the other side, which is me actually filming. And the best thing about this format is all I have to do is I put the script and the presentation on this right hand side. I then read the presentation live on the video, and then every now and then I look towards the camera and remember some of the stuff that I've read and elaborate a little bit more, right? So this means that you can film a VSL now super quickly, and every single step except for my little face here is done by AI. So our scripts, our presentation, and everything. Now, before we move forward though, do you actually need a VSL? Let's actually look at why you would need a VSL in the first place. So number one, the reason why we use a VSL is it obviously educates people on our offer and what it is we do. Now, I'm ADHD as fuck. So when I go on a website and I have to read about stuff, I don't want to do it. So I just click off and I get bored. And we've got this very finite amount of time with the market to capture their attention, move them through to the next stage, and actually put in front of them our offer and what it is we're doing. So if we can do that in a really simple, easy to follow format that's been of a video that's been perfectly aligned with their goals, what their pains are, the problems that they're facing, we're going to stand a much better chance of actually educating them on what we do, and we make it easy for them to consume that information. Now, number two is we increase the quality of the traffic that we're actually driving, because, well, if everyone then comes through our site and they've watched the VSL and they understand our offer now, and they see that we've got this unique mechanism that helps them get to the goals that they've got, and we've made it very clear that we understand the problems that they're facing, and we've shown results and proof points, then we're going to have much higher quality conversations with these people in the back end if they're booking in calls. Now, this also, on the other hand, does disqualify traffic before they book in a call. So a lot of the time you'll hear people say, oh yeah, we're booking calls, but they're time wasters. They're not a good fit. Well, that's because they didn't understand what they were booking a call for in the first place. Whereas if you had a VSL that said, do not book a call if this isn't you, or keep watching this video if this is you, you are going to get much better quality people coming through your funnel, all right? Now, I could be wrong here, but I personally believe that Meta reads the data on the page, including the VSL. Now, I know it skims through, it looks at headlines, it looks at the copy that's on the website, and it obviously looks at the content inside of your ads to then decide who it actually puts an ad in front of. But I also do believe that it looks at the VSL too. That's why I make the VSL extremely congruent with the problems that my ideal clients have. Therefore, when I'm running the ads, we get better results because all of our messaging is aligned and we're feeding the algorithm all of this data to say, okay, this is the person we're trying to get in front of, this is what they're struggling with, this is what they need. And also, it's so easy to fucking do. So why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you get better at creating marketing material like this to put out there? when you're following up with someone, even if you didn't use it on the website, what if you were just following up with someone after a call and they said, send me more information? Put it in a video. It's way easier to consume. Just become a pro at making these types of videos and using AI to do it. So for me, I think it's super easy. No one's got an excuse for not having a good VSL these days, and I'll prove that to you. Quick one, some of you are just going to want us to do this for you. We have a done for you VSL offer where we do the script within 24 hours, unlimited revisions, and we also have optional editing. So if you want to go from A to Z, move as fast as possible, and you want it done right from day one with me and the team, $97, first link in the description, you can go get that right now. The process that we go through to get this VSL down and working really well is pretty simple. The first thing we need to do is really understand who it is we're actually selling to, right? So most people skip this step. They don't actually understand the avatar of client. They don't understand the pain they're in, the problems they have. They don't understand the goals that their avatar have, the desires they have, the experience of what they've done before, the objections. So all of these things need to be done before you go and create the VSL. Because if you just go and do this without actually understanding who you're talking to and you just base it on what you think to be true and base it on what you think to be good, it's never going to work. So the way that we do this is we just answer questions about our avatar ahead of time. Now, if you've done sales calls with people, if you've got a list of objections that people are struggling with, you've got clients already that you're working with that their pain, problems, goals, desires, experience, and objections already, you can just compile that into a big document, go and feed it into GPT and say, give me a breakdown of who this avatar is. Give me a breakdown of what they care about, what they need, the problems that they're facing, what this is costing them. Go and feed it all of this information and you'll be left with an output that I then call the AI brain, which I think everyone should do and run their offer through, which you can then feed into every single step. So this, you can then feed into your VSL script. You can actually then go and create another AI trained on what I'm about to tell you today on actually writing a VSL. So if you understand your avatar's problems and you understand your offer and what you do and how you can help them, you then go and write your script with AI, then using all this information that you've compiled. Okay, so the process in a nutshell is really this: understand your avatar, go and write your script, go and make your presentation, which I'll show you how to do in a moment with AI. Go and film it, edit it the easy way, which again I'm going to run through, post it and host it on your site, test, and then take all that information that you've got from the test and feed it back into that avatar document and follow that process. It's as easy as that. It's like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. Okay, 7-step process of getting your VSL dialed in and actually converting. So that is the process. That's how we do it. And again, the AI that we use for all of our scripting is Claude. So it makes it super simple. We train up the projects. We keep adding more winning variations. Obviously, we've written like 400 plus VSLs at this point. So this means that our Claude project is now mean when it comes to writing scripts, and it knows exactly what it's doing. And then for the presentations, we just use a platform called Gamma. So this is an AI presentation tool. All we do then is feed the scripts from our Claude project into Gamma, and it then puts together these like amazing slides of all of these presentations and graphics. So this literally takes 2 minutes and it's so easy. I just go and feed it into that, give it a simple prompt saying, hey, this is the colorway. This is what I want you to do. I want you to keep it simple. Go and make me the graphics. And then it will create you engaging graphics that you can then use in your presentation whilst you're then presenting the script. So super, super easy. No need to overthink this. All we're doing is trying to get something live to test, because I can guarantee you your first VSL isn't going to be your best VSL. There's no such thing as the best VSL. It's so subjective. It could be different for this person to that person. You're going to find one that starts converting well, and then you can stick to that. But I would always recommend improving over time and keep feeding information back to make things better. Now, let's get on to the actual script structure. So I'll walk you through exactly what we do at what point in the VSL and how this actually works. Now, the first part of the VSL is super simple, right? We want to just hook people in. Now, what we do want to do is introduce what we're actually talking about naturally. We don't want it to be really forced. We don't want to get confusing. We don't want to add loads of jargon and confuse people as soon as they land on site. So we simply just want to let them know what our big promise is. Now, take this script with a pinch of salt. If you're selling to a very sophisticated market, like law firms or enterprise level brands, Some of this isn't going to apply to you. I'm going to assume most of you are selling B2C, or you're going to be selling like the lower end B2B. So we're going to want to state the offer clearly. What do they actually get? How do we actually help them? Because we understand the avatar of client, we understand their problems and their goals, we should align our big bold promise with exactly what they're looking to achieve. We then want to end with a micro commitment to actually keep them watching. So that could be as simple as you saying, I'm going to show you exactly how to get X, Y outcome if you just spend the next 5-10 minutes with me. And we want to be as specific as we possibly can here. So any numbers or any specific data points that we can actually give, if you're promising revenue or you're talking about revenue growth, add a number to that. Make it actually tangible. Make it something that someone can actually understand and think, oh, wow, yeah, I would love an extra 100K in the next 90 days, okay? What you don't want to do is use alienated language. Don't use like big complex terms. Don't try to look smart. With AI, whenever I'm writing this kind of thing, I always tell it, I'm like, write this as if you're talking to a 16-year-old, because that's what I understand. People are clicking through on Instagram. They've been consuming content. They're not in a position where they're now going to consume all this big jargon and complex shit. They want something simple, something easy to digest, and the simpler your message is, the more likely someone is to actually take action on it because they actually understand it, all right? Now, the next step, once you've done your hook, is to then lay out the pain. Now, again, this comes back to understanding our avatar of client. It comes back to aligning on what problems they're actually facing. But what we're going to do is we're just going to list the specific pains that we know our clients have. So we could say, you're struggling with lack of clients. You have no clarity on how to go out there and get clients. You don't understand how to go and book appointments that actually show. Your quality suffers, and that means that you're wasting time on these calls that you could be doing other things with, and you're just basically crumbling away, not being able to run your business. So again, you'd align this with the problems that your specific clients have, and we would then structure that in a way where we say, okay, well, maybe you've tried X, Y, and Z. Maybe you've tried hiring agencies. Maybe you've tried paying the gurus. Maybe you've tried paying the coaches before and you still haven't got the result. And what we want to do at the end of this section is then twist the knife and make the current situation unbearable for them. We want to prove to them, hold up the mirror and say, look, you're struggling with all of these pain points. You've tried X, Y, and Z. When is enough enough? You've done this much damage already. You simply not taking this action. It's not only costing you revenue, it's costing you time, sanity, and your fucking hairline's going, mate. So make it unbearable for them, all right? That then leads us into the squeeze. Now, this squeeze is a super short section where we essentially, again, squeeze the knife a little bit more. And on top of all that, you still need to become an expert in 5+ things, elaborate on what those points are, whilst current demand. So whilst managing a team, whilst hiring more team, whilst looking after your family, whilst working a full-time job, whatever it may be that's right for your audience. We then need to make the gap feel impossible to bridge alone, and we want to keep it concise and relatable to their pain. So this is where we say, you need us. You need to keep watching this video because you need to understand how this works, because we literally have the solution to the problems that you're facing. So we're hooking, we're laying out the pain, we're showing that we actually understand them. We're then squeezing them and twisting the knife, making them like, oh shit, this is really unbearable. I actually need to get this fixed and pay attention to it right now. And then we go into the solution. Now, I always recommend you have some kind of unique mechanism, right? We live in a world where every man and his fucking dog is an entrepreneur. They all have offers. The barrier to entry is super low to running ads. The barrier to entry to creating a YouTube channel is super low. And now everyone has access to AI. There's going to be a lot more people starting businesses, right? So we need to have a unique way or a unique method of helping someone achieve a certain result. This is just a unique method or approach that you have that someone hasn't necessarily seen before. So what happens when you do that is someone will then listen to that part of the VSL. So what happens when you do that is it then makes it actually believable as to why your thing works, because, well, they've never tried your method or your mechanism. If you just went to the market and said, we do the same as everyone else, it's like, well, okay, great. Oh, thanks, mate. I'll definitely sign up. You have to be different. In this market, you have to be different. There has to be an old way of doing something and a new way of doing something. If you're not focused on that new way, you're dead. All right, you're just competing with everyone else. So explain your unique method and your approach and back it up. Say, this is why it works. We have XYZ framework, and this is why it works, because you haven't tried this, and you've only done this. All right. We then want to list out deliverables, and we need to make sure it's very clear on what's actually in it for them. All right. We don't want to be talking about ourselves here. We don't want to be talking about other people. We want to be talking about what they're going to get, the results that they're going to get. And when I say deliverables, I don't mean laying out 101 different things that you're going to do for them. Break it down into like 4 sections, 4 parts of your offer, okay? For us, it's the OFFA, so offer, funnel, follow-up, advertising. Break that down, keep it very high level. You don't have to go into the weeds and all the different details, but lay it out in a way where it's like emotion logic. So what's the emotion that someone gets through going through this? What's it going to cause? What does that do? What's the logic that backs it up? Why does this work? Why is this the new way? And why does this work compared to everything else that they've tried, right? So this is what we're going to do here. And remember, keep it about them. Don't talk about yourself. Don't talk about anyone else. What's in it for me? That's what people are thinking when they're watching this VSL, so make it relatable to them. And then what we need to do is make the benefits tangible and specific. So again, going back to that point of using real numbers, using real data, being able to back it up and give them actually proof as to why our unique mechanism works and how it's worked for other people. But don't just be wishy-washy like, yeah, we help grow businesses. No, you fucking don't. That doesn't work. You need to say like, we're going to help you get this many clients. We're going to help you get this many booked appointments. We're going to save you this much time. We're going to help you cut costs by this much, right? Be specific so people can actually then make sense of it, understand it, and picture themselves with that benefit, okay? Be benefit focused here. Be outcome focused. I know you all know that already. Now, the next part is obvious, but most people don't do it. And I don't know why most people don't do it, because VSLs don't get 100% watch time. YouTube videos don't get 100% watch time. The average for a YouTube video is like 40% watch time. The average that I see on a VSL is like 25%. And you could say that that's because I suck at writing VSLs, but I don't think I do, because so many clients are getting results. We're getting results. You know, we've been doing this for a long time now. So if you know that a lot of people click off of a VSL and either take an action or leave the page if they realize it's not for them or they're ready to just get started, why wouldn't you give them a CTA earlier on? Why wouldn't you just tell them the next steps? So what we want to do here is just explain what happens on the call, explain what they get even if they don't buy, be super brief and super natural, and basically just say, look, if you're ready to take action right now, you understand that you're in this much pain, you understand our unique mechanism, how it works, and the different steps that we've got. Go and book in a call down below, apply, whatever it may be. And then what you can say after that is, if you want more proof, stick around and I'll run you through exactly how this works. And this then takes us to the proof stage. What you'll find by giving the CTA is you will get more people to actually take an action before they actually click off the VSL and go and do their dishes. But yeah, then we go to this proof section. One detailed case study with specific numbers. We don't want to overwhelm them. Yes, you can say we've helped this person, this person, this person, this person. Keep it super high level. I always recommend going into a really detailed case study though, because that makes it very believable when you go into the details and actually say, look, this is exactly what happened. This is how it worked. This is, again, the emotions that they were going through, relatable back to the clients that you're trying to work with, the pain that they were suffering with, again, relatable. And this is the process and the journey we took them on to get them to the result that you know that that client wants. Winner. So walk through step by step with a timeline. So a lot of people that are going to be watching this VSL are going to be thinking, oh yeah, this is a made up case study. So again, try to show as much proof as you possibly can. And they're also going to be thinking, oh, this is the best and only result that they've actually ever got for someone. So if you know that, address it. Say, look, I'm not just cherry picking the best results here. This is typical. It's not our best. And then to back that up, include a worst case study that still works. So you can say, look, that's what we got for John, but Tony over here, he didn't get that result, but it was still way better than what you're suffering with right now. So even our worst case study and our worst result is going to be a massive win for you. All right. So that's our proof section. We then go into objections. So again, if you understand your avatar client, you understand the problems they've got, you understand the objections that they have, you know they've worked with agencies before, you know they've worked with coaches, gurus, they've tried different softwares, you can now handle some of these objections that come up all of the time in sales calls. Now, if you haven't taken any sales calls before, this is something that you're going to get better at over time. This is something that you can add into your VSL as you make the next version. So we're going to say, look, you may be thinking, if I know my clients are all suffering with paying marketing agencies and not getting any results, I'm going to say, now you may be thinking, I've been burnt before. What makes you different? And then I go into demolish the reason why we're different. I go into demolish that objection. I don't just answer it and like just skim through it. I go and fucking destroy that objection so that when they then go and book in a call, they should be pre-framed, providing they've watched that part of the video, they should be pre-framed to understand why we're different to other marketing agencies, right? We're completely done for you. You own the systems. Our goal is to get you to be non-reliant on marketing agencies, coaches, and gurus, okay? Destroy the fucking objection. Don't just leave it hanging. Make the old belief feel foolish. So yeah, you suffered with marketing agencies because you had no fucking clue what you were doing with marketing. Therefore, you hired shit agencies. We're going to help you avoid that by teaching you what you need to understand inside of marketing so that never ever happens again. All right. So this doesn't have to be long, 30 to 45 seconds each, could even be less. But this is really, really helpful, especially if you have some really big objections that always come up and show their ugly faces on sales calls, or, that stop people from even booking in and actually taking an action. The final step of this is close. So you then qualify the audience hard, say, look, this is for this person, this person, this person. If this isn't you, fuck off. Don't join. No, I'm sorry. If this isn't you, do not book. It's not going to be a good fit. And then state the next step clearly, okay? This is what's going to happen. You're going to go down beneath this video. You're going to apply. You're going to answer 4 or 5 questions. You're then going to be able to book in your appointment. We're going to run you through how this works, what results you can expect, and we'll be honest with you on the call whether or not you're actually going to be a good fit. You could create urgency by saying, look, we know that you are suffering with X, Y, and Z, and these are the pain points, and you're not spending time with the family, and you're burning cash on ads every single day, and you're hiring team members that are sucking you dry. So if you don't take action right now, you're going to continue suffering with that. Whereas you can jump on a 30-minute call with us, we'll run you through how we can help you avoid it. And then that then creates that urgency for them to actually then take the action. And then finally, a big, strong CTA. Go and do that right now. It's going to take you 2 minutes. And then you can literally change your life forever by doing X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So that really is the A to Z framework of a VSL script. Is it the most complicated? No, it's super, super basic and it's super simple, but it works. I want you to, after this video, go and look at creating an offer blueprint. Go and actually understand your avatar of client. Go and make notes in a document. Go and actually feed that into AI. Now, we have a full free course inside of a school group underneath this video in the description. It's free. There's a free course in there running you through how we do this and what this looks like. Go and check it out. Go and understand the avatar of client. Then go and feed that into AI to go and write your first variation of the script using the framework that I just gave you above. Feed that into the AI. Ask it to write the sections of that based on your offer blueprint and the avatar of client that you're looking for. Then go and feed that script into Gamma. Go and create the presentation. You can leave all of the text in there so you can read it like a script when you're presenting on Loom. Go and film. Start with a Loom style video. Don't start going to a fucking videographer or going to a studio and paying someone thousands of dollars just to film you for a 10-minute video. It makes no sense. This is going to be the first of many VSLs that you create. So go and do the easy way first. You don't even need to show your face. Just screen record, right? No one cares. It's about the message. No one cares about you. No one cares about your face. No one cares about my face. No one does. So just screen record to start with, get comfortable speaking and presenting this new VSL. Once you then go from the Loom, you can then upgrade to the split screen style that we do. And then if you want to get even madder, you can then just upgrade into the talking head, right? But again, depends on your audience, depends on what they care about. And personally, I think this is the best format. It's just so easy and it just means you can move fast. And when we're testing, we need to move fast. We want to get data in the door. We do not want to be sat there for weeks procrastinating on this, right? This should take you hours. It shouldn't take you weeks. Definitely shouldn't take you months. You want to be able to spin out VSLs in 1-2 hours whenever you need them, right? Because the people that take ages to do this are the ones that die and the ones that never ever make any money. And then at the end, all we're doing is we're repeating the process. So we're getting data, we're then feeding that back into the AI, and then over time, everything gets smarter, everything makes more sense, everything is more aligned with our avatar of client, and we make way more money because we are signing more clients because, well, we're beasts at writing VSLs and actually launching them. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully this gives you a good understanding of what is actually required in the VSL and what we're doing for our clients, how we're using AI at every single step, and yeah, how the old way of doing it is done and how this new way is the no-brainer. So if you like this video, there's another video here that you should check out. That's also going to help you get more clients and scale your high-ticket business. See you later.